Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll review Freeman Guerilla Warfare. Is a Mount and Blade clone with guns. And if you've played Mount and Blade or its successor Warband, you pretty know what you're getting into. You start with a few guys or girls in your army, and much like in Mount and Blade, there is this world map where you get to move around your little army in real time, getting into fights and trying to take over towns and that sort of thing. The idea here is to take over the whole map, so it's like an endless mode, it seems. And the map itself is pretty boring to look at and could have used more detail. First, you'll be going after groups of bandits and terrorists and renegades and mountain bandits and all that sort of thing, which is nice. So again, the idea here is to, over time, grow a larger army to go after the bigger enemies that are the factions in this game. There is quite a steep grind here where you try to grow your army, as I said, because it does become repetitive. I mean, you're getting into a fight with a bunch of bandits, then you probably lose a bunch of guys. You do get some money. You invest the money to get more people in groups of enemies. Then your army is sort of decimated, so you start all over again. And that's sort of the gameplay loop. Again, that does get a bit boring and repetitive after a while. Also because there's no real story to follow or a sort of an incentive to do it all again. And the factions in this game are not very fleshed out. I mean, I have no idea why they're there and what their, well, points are. So it's pretty bare bones, even after this game has seen its release out of early access. So there's a 1.0 release. So it all boils down to the fighting. Unfortunately, that portion of the game is a lot of fun. As I said, getting into a fight is easy. Once that happens, you're presented with a different kind of map where you can move around your squads RTS style. And the graphics of the portion of the game are a bit crude, but at times things look kind of atmospheric because of the day and night cycle and the fact that every map has sort of a different look and feel with different hills and snow and all that kind of stuff. And it does have an influence on the fighting because against a sort of a sandy backdrop, enemies can be harder to spot, so that is fun, you know. And there's a real sense of excitement when you're starting a fight and you deploy your troops and you're scouting the horizon for the enemy to come over the hill, and once they do, you start shooting and your guys start shooting and all hell breaks loose at times. Better yet, you can jump into the action, first-person shooter style, and the shooting is actually pretty solid, and I was pretty surprised by that. It feels playing like Arma, basically. So it's exciting because one shot can kill you, and I found that I usually use the sniper rifle because you can wipe out complete squads on your own with the sniper rifle. They just don't know what's coming, and it feels like a bit of cheating. But on the other hand, again, as I said, one shot, one kill, so you know your fight can be over in no time. So I found that an interesting balance where you get some good weapons to use against the enemies. Unfortunately, there are no vehicles to speak of, as you know, I've played this game for around 13 hours, and at some points I could call in the help of a tech helicopter. I've seen them appear at times, or artillery, though I guess this portion of the game is sort of still being fleshed out and needs more work. Your squads do follow some rudimentary orders that you give them, so they will go to certain waypoints, and they will give a good fight depending on their level, you know, and depending on whether your army consists of experienced fighters or just town folks with sticks. So yeah, it all depends on their skill and the gear, I have to say, that they're carrying. Enemy soldiers do show some intelligence, especially the higher tier enemies. they'll try to flank you, or they use a variety of enemies like snipers and guys that throw smoke grenades and all that. And the whole thing does result in some really exciting battles at times. I mean, as I said, all hell can break loose with lots going on, a lot of soldiers involved. After winning a battle, you get a bunch of loot, and there's really a massive amount of weapons and gear to outfit your own character and your team members. But after the battle, it's really back to the old roaming around, looking for the next fight. If you choose to do that, buying and selling commodities to get some extra money in. And much like Mount & Blade and Warband, that stuff sort of, again, can wear you out and gets boring after a while. Though, after capturing a city, the game does open up a little bit. You can set the tax rates, and you can establish trade routes and build some buildings in your town. But it all feels very superficial, not very exciting, and again, very bare bones. There's a lot of interesting things here that, again, need to be fleshed out. For instance, you can take with you certain companions that they can level up to become sort of a general that will do the recruiting themselves. And there's more of this stuff. You can take prisoners, and you can try to persuade or torture them into submission so that they can join your army. There are little things like that really show a lot of promise, but need really a lot more work. There's already some mods available for this game that add more content, like campaigns and other stuff. But solely on what the game has to offer by itself, again, to summarize things, it needs more work, it needs more polish, more content for the longevity of this title. That's what I think, in essence, of Freeman. It's fun as long as it lasts, maybe. And it is fun. And I'll just keep this on my hard drive, sitting there, waiting for more updates to come in. And I really hope that the developer will come through with that and not just abandon this title after a while. So thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.